We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed.
Metal roofing and flat roof needs. New construction plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280.
To become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Titan Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit titanmachinery.com/careers to learn more.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing.
And we welcome you back. We are set for our Comtech kickoff. You just heard a word from them. Justin Cowart, Chris Derry, Achilles Willie White on the camera, work for live ticket. Pierre Governor girls will be attacking from right to left. The Arrows attacking from left to right. Governors in their home Governor greens with Governors in black across the back. Underneath their white numerals, the Watertown Arrows in their road whites, purple numerals with white bottoms as well. Chris, you ready? This is going to be a fun one here today.
I'm excited for the game. It's been a fun morning so far. A lot of excitement on the girls' side, the Governor's side, and now it's time for the game to happen.
One of the most intriguing matchups around the state is underway here on River 92.7, and the Pierre Governor girls already looking like they're going to force the issue quickly. Charging down the far side of the field, it's Zoe Bauer down to the far side corner. Wind blowing from right to left across the pitch here this afternoon. Natalie Flottmeyer has this one stripped away. About as busy and packed as I've seen the Pilk here all season long, understandably so. It's the postseason. Everybody wants to be out here and see this thing live. If you're listening on River 92.7, we appreciate you tuning in. I'm sure you wish you could be out here on this beautiful day. Pierre Governor girls with some good strings of passes being put together here early. Chris, I feel like that's not something we see very often in the early going. Looks like the Governor girls are taking a different approach to start this game, just trying to get a little bit of a rhythm built here between each other.
Yeah, I mean, they look more relaxed than they did the last game, which is exactly what they need. They need to be relaxed. They need to be poised, and so far it looks like they are.
Pushing it into the defensive area of the Watertown Arrows right here. Little jump pass off the face there of Maya Frabel. She wore that one on the side, but Maya Frabel, much like Jasmine Yost, about as tough as they come. Early substitution here waiting. It's Lauren Tesh for the Arrows. And Jasmine Yost, who is playing a little bit hobbled, feeds one inside, looking for Flottmeyer. That was cut off by Sydney Stanton and cleared back out. Josephine Wirtz will come all the way up from the back line to make sure it stays in the defensive zone of the Arrows. Ball just inside midfield. Dribbled by Josephine Wirtz. Some great footwork there by Katie Fisher. Almost stripping it away and looking like she might have a free run up the pitch, but Zoe Bauer works hard to get it back. Still possessing down in the far side corner, doing a nice little turnaround on the defender. Out in front for Lexi Hilber, and a header bounces once and into the hands of Madison Enstad. But the right idea right there, Chris, get the ball out in front of net, get it to one of your key playmakers, and let her make Madison Enstad work a little bit for the Arrows.
Yeah, and in this win today, you're going to see, I think in this first half, you're going to see Watertown kind of drop into a shell a little bit. Try to minimize anything that Pierre wants to do, because the wind is backing Pierre right now. And that's why you're seeing so many numbers behind the ball for Watertown. Just moving side to side. Nice, easy pressure. Nothing that's going to allow them to get beat and force Pierre to break you down.
Yeah, and that's a good point made there by Chris. With the win at the backs of the Governors, they certainly have the advantage offensively, kicking with it in their favor. Of course, they're going to have to flip the field, and Emlyn Swanson's going to have to deal with this. So maybe another key piece and reason why Chris mentioned that the Governor girls would love to get that first goal, love to get out in front early and try to build themselves a little cushion before we get to the second half. Early going here, about 3.5 minutes gone, no score.
Yeah, I mean,
it's gas service scoreboard.
It's tough. Do you play better with the wind behind you, or playing into the wind? Sometimes the wind behind you can be a great help. It can also be a hindrance because you play differently than you normally would. So far, the girls look like they're playing like they normally would. Small ball, get the ball to the corner, cross it to the top of the 6 or the PK mark.
And not a physics major myself. I went to school for sports, so I don't really know how wind is going to affect the trajectory of the ball, but somewhat of a soccer novice myself, you would think it would help the Governors in this situation to maybe carry a little bit more pace on some strong low line drive shots. But again, kind of the other point that you mentioned, when it is blowing in your face as a goalkeeper, or maybe blowing in your face as an offense, it can create maybe a little bit of English on the ball, move it around a little bit. I mean, this wind, we've had wind throughout the season, but this is blowing our computers off the table. It's blowing papers everywhere. This is truly some of the strongest conditions that the Governors have had to play in here this season down at the Pill.
Yeah, the wind, when you have the wind behind you and you're striking the ball, understand that the wind is going to carry it. So you want to strike more through the ball. You want to strike with the knee over the top, toe down a little bit, so you can get that wind to help the trajectory of the ball. But going into the wind, that any shots that come on Emlyn, watch for that ball to move around a little bit. It almost look like it's knuckling.
We always take stock in the first couple minutes of how both of these teams start to feel each other out. Emlyn Swanson has barely moved a muscle back there. Governors have been on the offensive push since our Comtech kickoff. And they as we mentioned, would love to strike first. Still scoreless here. Only one shot on goal for either side. It came off the forehead of Lexi Helmer. Bounced once. It was saved by Enstad. This steal is taken away by Berkeley Fliggy. And Caitlin Taylor along that back line, speeding along with Gallardo Popham, will push it back towards midfield. But here the first Watertown Arrows attack is thwarted by Zoe Bauer. Strips it away, plays it up the far sideline for a streaking Natalie Flottmeyer, but the breast cancer awareness official flag goes up. Flottmeyer offsides, and the Arrows will earn back the possession inside of their own zone.
Good step by the center backs. They baited Natalie with letting her cheat up a little bit, and then the last minute step forward to do an offsides trap. And that's it worked to perfection. And Natalie's just going to need to understand to check her sixes and to make a little bit more of a diagonal run to stay on sides.
High IQ play from a very talented Watertown Arrow back line. Zoe Bauer been heavily involved here early in the first couple minutes. Has had a bulk of the possession percentage for the Pierre Governors. I would say at this point here in the early going, couple minutes in, Governors probably winning that possession percentage 80-20 at this point in the match. As the second substitution for the Arrows will be Claire Schockenheimer. She will check in and will hand off the penny to the junior Olivia Detman. And Olivia Detman sporting a really thick knee brace, and I've never worn a knee brace, Chris, but looking at that's got to be something, especially for a soccer player, can be a bit uncomfortable trying to charge up and down the pitch, especially with a fast team like the Pierre Governors.
It can be, but a lot of these braces nowadays are made to be more mobile, less cumbersome when they're running, when they're moving. So I don't expect it to change the way she plays any. Just she's probably by now has probably just become part of her body, and she didn't even think about it.
Caitlin Taylor will just punt it out of play, give her defense a chance to set up, and now a late whistle as Lexi Hilmer is going to be whistled for the foul. The foul leader in this Pierre Governor roster, by a long shot, is Jasmine Yost, just a testament to kind of the physicality and the aggressiveness that she plays with. It's a good aggressiveness. She never goes over the line. She pushes the envelope, but in a good way. She's always playing intense, and I think that kind of rubs off on some of her teammates, maybe seeing it a little bit there from Lexi Hilmer. I think, too, the Governor girls want to kind of impose their will here in the first couple minutes, establish who the leader of this game is. A free kick coming from just outside the box on the far side, along the 6, comes in for the Arrows. High floating kick, rides the wind a little bit. Chasing it down for the Arrows will be Chloe Landmark, and she won't get there in time. That will roll out past the end line, and Emlyn Swanson will have her first goalie kick of the afternoon. And if I'm Emlyn Swanson, sorry to cut you off, Chris, I would just, with this wind, I want to see how far down the pitch I could kick it. You can get that thing up in the air, really let it ride, and then clear it out. But she's going to place it down, direct traffic a bit, try to kick it free. That Arrows front couple 4 players not going to make it easy on her, not just bailing out and opening things up. But a nice job by Maya Frabel to work free. This one booted out of bounds by Berkeley Fliggy, and I turn it back over to Chris Derry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just going to comment on Maya York took the free kick there for Watertown, and you saw the wind, how it affected that ball. She floated it up in the air, and the wind moved that ball around. She drives that ball, the wind will benefit her versus floating, and that's one of the things you got to watch when that wind's in your face, like this wind is.
Jasmine Yost with a nice hustle play. She's not looking 100% after that apparent hip injury that she suffered in practice last night, but as I was talking to some of the parents over at the Pierre Governor tailgate, kind of spearheaded by Chris Derry, it's going to take, you have to take one of her legs off to keep her off the pitch, and even that might not keep her off the field, especially in a postseason matchup against the Watertown Arrows. Yeah, no way Jasmine Yost was missing this one.
I don't think you could have put a bullet in her chest, and she'd have looked at it and go, tape me up, I'm going back in.
Absolutely.
I mean, she's as tough as they come. She's a senior. She wants this team to move on, and she knows she's a big part of it, whether she's out there at 100% or 70%. So, and her 70%, let's not lie, her 70% is still pretty doggone good.
Absolutely. And a little bit of contact there between Maya Frabel and a Watertown Arrow. I believe that was Katie Fisher who got the front end of that. Beautiful feed from Fisher to Miley Kanaz. Kanaz with a shot on goal and a beautiful left-handed save from Emlyn Swanson. Sticks the paw up, has it rattle off the crossbar. Still free out in front of the net. But Emlyn Swanson's first save of the ballgame is a beauty to keep this thing scoreless with 30 minutes to play in the first half.
That was an extremely dangerous play, and Katie Fisher drew in the defense. She laid it off wide. Emlyn Swanson played that as good as you could play it. The only thing I'd like to see her do is parry it over, but regardless, she had a strong hand, got her hand up there and deflected it. And that's as a keeper, that's all you want to do is keep it out of the net.
Couldn't have drawn it up any better if you're the Watertown Arrows, as this one's dumped in for Aubrey Fisher just outside the 6 line. But, a beautiful feed from Katie Fisher, and, of course, a great shot by Miley Canas. Tried to go top shelf near side, and Emlyn Swanson using some of that tall frame to deflect it and keep the ball out of the net and keep our game at a 0-0 scoreless draw here as Emlyn Swanson comes out of the back line, comes out of the box all the way out into the face of Canas, so she just saved a shot on and boots it to the other end of the field. And that's one of those plays that you liked seeing Emlyn Swanson make, coming out, playing aggressive, not letting it come to her, but actually going and attacking it.
Yeah, I mean, it saves your defense. Your defense is facing you, running onto the ball. You're facing the field, so come up, get the ball out of your zone, get it where you need it to go. She did. She got it wide, and on the other side, the Watertown keeper did not come out, causing her team to, turn it over and get a throw in. So that's something, if I'm the Pierre Governors, I'm looking at going, she doesn't want to come out of her box. Let's take advantage of it.
And I think Coach Hinker, who helps out with a lot of the goalies, like you mentioned, in our keys to success, probably loving seeing that out of his sophomore goalie, Emlyn Swanson. Checking in for the Arrows and heading out on the pitch is Brooklyn Randall. She will check out Miley Canas. Canas has had an aggressive and a very effective couple minutes here in the early going. Almost lit up our Gales Gas Service scoreboard.
Yeah, and Watertown doesn't drop any. Bringing in Brooklyn. Canas is a threat up front, and Brooklyn is all of that and brings a level of physicality to it as well. So you didn't, the sub brought in is same as Canas, maybe just a tad bit more physical, so the Governors can't afford to drop their level here.
Yeah, and especially when you got some essential starters coming off the bench for the Watertown Arrows. You see Claire Schockenheimer, who just checked out, or just checked in now, checking out, but Bo Heidinger, a sophomore, checking in. This is a very deep roster and a very deep bench for an Arrows team. Same thing with the Pierre Governors, but you really don't get to this point in the postseason unless you do have some very skilled bench players like both of these squads do.
Yeah, you're not going to get far in the playoffs without being able to use your bench, because you're not going to be able to ride 11, 12, 13 players all the way to the championship. You need to be able to go 15, 16 deep in any bench. So it's good to see both teams using their benches, getting some players out there, getting some managing the minutes so everyone can have the full strength at the end of the game.
And speaking of a strong bench player who just checked out, that was checked in for Natalie Flottmeyer, Aubrey Fisher has delivered some outstanding minutes for the Governors here throughout this regular season and in this postseason. Ball getting down deep into the Governors' defensive zone. Josephine Wirtz going to turn and kick that one out of play. It heads out to the far side corner, but to the right side of the flag, so it will set up a corner kick, it looks like, here for the Watertown Arrows. And taking it, heading over that direction, is one of these 4 captains for the Arrows, McKenna Blank. And we told you there's a lot of Governor fans here. Good showing from the Pierre faithful, but a strong contingent of Arrows fans as this one is booted out in front of the net. Gorgeous kick, set down and shot and scored. The Arrows strike first. It's Chloe Landmark off the corner from McKenna Blank, and it's 1-0 on our Gales Gas Service scoreboard. Couldn't have drawn it up any better, as it was McKenna Blank to put it out in front of the net. Cool, calm, and collected was Chloe Landmark as she turned around, darted it in, and makes it 1-0 Arrows.
Yeah, I mean, the ball, number one, you can't let the ball bounce in your 18-yard box. You got to clear it. But when it bounced up and dropped right at her feet. She turned around, looked at it, and went, "Oh, look what I got," and put it back in the net. So for the Governors, nothing big. You can score goals. Just keep your calm. You've dominated the possession part of this game. Get back to what works.
And that's huge crowd and sea of purple over there that made the trip from Watertown. Happy to see the Arrows strike first. That came in the 13th minute of this match. 1-0 Arrows. This one getting down towards that back line. Josephine Wirtz, again, going to steer it off to her left. Bo Meidinger, who checked in moments ago, will feed it inside for Katie Fisher. Fisher looking to break free from 3 Governor jerseys, and kicking it out of play is Caitlin Taylor.
Yeah, and Bo Meidinger is going to bring in a little different play out there. She's going to look to get some good crosses in. She can given the opportunity, she can make some dangerous crosses. So you can't leave her alone out there to just set up and feed the ball in the 18.
Traversing across the outside of the box is Gallardo Popham, feeds it back to Berkeley Fliggy, who feeds it into the street over the crossbar. Not sure if that was aided by wind or not, but there was a lot of juice behind that. And that'll be a goalie kick setting up for Emlyn Swanson. 25-28 to play here on our Gales Gas Service scoreboard. 1-0 Watertown Arrows lead after the corner kick by McKenna Blank set up Chloe Landmark for the game's first goal.
Yeah, and Sophia up front for Watertown Gallardo. She's, we've talked about her the last time we came out here and played. She's a threat. Her ball skills, her vision, and everything else. She's a young player, but she's probably one of the more skilled players on this Watertown team that you cannot let get free in that 18. Like they let her get free that last time. You got to shut her down and not let her dribble at you.
And how big of a shift from the first 5 minutes to the last 10 minutes when it seemed that the Governors had all the offensive momentum. The Watertown Arrows kind of flipped the script, turned the page on the Pierre Governors. They have been the ones attacking and finding some success here in the early going. Another shot on goal. This one's going to sail wide off the foot. Looked like that was sent in by Lauren Tesh. Went to the left of Emlyn Swanson, past the near side post and out of play. But again, Watertown keeping those numbers up front, making it very hard for Emlyn Swanson, as it just did right there. That pass was picked off by Chloe Landmark, set out in front of the net, and Josephine Wirtz, all she could do was try to clear it out. It was kicked out of play by Brooklyn Randall, the freshman. And I think that Coach Elverud would have liked to see maybe Randall slow that down, settle it down a little bit more, set up a better shot. Either way, still deep inside that Governor's zone. Randall strikes it free. Another shot and a diving save to the left for Emlyn Swanson. That shot provided by Maya York. And that save for Emlyn Swanson dirties up the kit just a little bit. She's made 2 good saves here in the early going.
Yeah, and Maya York at the top there. We all know Lexi Hilmer is a physical player, being a wrestler and everything. She knows how to be physical, but she might have met her match there with Maya York. Maya York is a very physical, strong young lady who loves and invites the physical play.
Sophia Gallardo Popham centering pass, looking for Randall again. This one was kicked just a bit wide.
Oh, no.
And now we've got a whistle, and a player is down back behind the end line. And Sophia. It's a Watertown Arrow, and it's Sophia Gallardo Popham, it seems. And instantly racing over was Shannon Elverud, almost instantly knowing that something was wrong. Now, Sophia Gallardo Popham is wearing a brace on that right knee, and now this is back-to-back games in which we have seen a non-contact injury to an opponent of the Pierre Governors. Just terrible to see. It was Jess Gerlach on Tuesday, and now it's Sophia Gallardo Popham. And it's always scary when you see a non-contact injury like that. Even scarier when you see it to somebody with a knee brace, and even worse when you see both coaches sprint over to their player, almost knowing something. Now, I don't know if Elverud was sprinting because she wanted to kind of keep the momentum up. She was obviously very concerned about her player, but some emotions being shown here by Gallardo Popham. We'll keep an eye on her. And no matter what time of the season, regular season, first game of the year, or postseason, second round, that is just the last thing that you want to see. So let's take a look as the Avera medical staff checks in on Gallardo Popham. In the meantime, Emlyn Swanson with a keying kick is headed back in the other direction as Brooklyn Randall fed it inside. Quick shot there from Maya York will sail high of the crossbar, but more offensive push here with about 22 minutes and some change to play in a 1-0 Watertown lead here in the first half. Seems like Watertown has kind of gripped the control of this match.
Yeah, they have. And right now, Watertown is going to be a little bit emotional because Sophia is down. She's a key part to their team. And just to send a shout out to Jorge, her dad, and his wife, hope it's nothing serious with Sophia. She is a excellent young lady and a great kid. So we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, if there's any bright side to what looks like a sad injury, it's that Gallardo Popham is an 8th grader and does have some years ahead of her here at the high school level. So we just hope the best for her. She continues to get that knee worked on, as there was a collision at midfield between Jasmine Yost and Lauren Tesh, and a strong collision at that. They're going to say that Tesh was the one that got there first and created the contact, so free kick coming from just inside midfield for Lexi Hilmer. Hilmer with the wind at her back, sends a low line drive, side spinning kick, will bounce once, and Stad will let that one roll to the back fence. And this will set up another goalie kick for Madison Enstad and the Watertown Arrows. Checking back in is Katie Fisher. And Maya York will head to the bench. And taking this free kick will be McKenna Blank. She'll just roll it softly over here to the near side corner. Governor's showing some numbers up front, maybe trying to steal a quick turnover. Nice job by our centering official there, Richard Felix, to step out of the way of that pass. So now we saw in the first 5 minutes that push from the Governors, got a couple looks on goal. It was a Lexi Hilmer header that was saved by Enstad. Seemed like they have kind of figured out how to apply some of that pressure, strung some nice passes together. But it was the Arrows over the last 15 minutes or so, as we are at the midway point here in our first half. They've supplied the rest of the offensive pressure and found the first goal of the game. So my question to you is, Chris, where do the Governors find some offense here, trailing 1-0?
Well, right now the Governors need to just calm down. They need to get back to what was work in the first 5, 8, 9 minutes of the game, and that was movement, string some passes together, switch your point of attack, find your numerical advantage, whether it's down the right wing or left wing. And once you find that advantage, attack it at pace and not just, put your head down and try to dribble into pressure. So they just need to get back to what was working, and that was basically being patient and just holding the ball, possessing it.
2 8th graders, 2 freshmen in this starting lineup for the Pierre Governors here this afternoon. Got to make Kira Swenson very excited about what's to come, especially the way that Zoe Bauer has played here in the early going. They've relied on her a lot. The other 2 8th graders, Maya Fravel and Sophia Brugman. The other freshman is Allison Demers, who's got a bulk of the playing time this season, played over 1,000 minutes. Only a few Pierre Governors have gotten to the 4-digit minute mark. Lexi Hilmer, near side corner of the box, and a whistle on that kick. A little bit blocked out with a busy sideline right here. So unsure what the whistle was for. Hard to believe that was an offsides with as many bodies were down low.
I think it was out of bounds for a goal kick.
Okay, so they decided to stop it, said that ball touched the end line. It was a late whistle because Lexi Hilmer was on the near side corner of the box. So interesting to see that late of a call. And it draws another whistle with Jasmine Yost giving it a shove. The receiving end of that shove was Brooklyn Randall. She takes the whistle, heads back. 4 officials here this afternoon. Big game. Need all the law in the field you can get. Big thanks to our officials for being out here this afternoon. McKenna Blank, who delivered the corner kick for the only goal of the day for the Watertown Arrows. Send it in. Bo Meidinger sees it pinball off a couple of Governors. Devin Van Rokel just going to chip it out of play. Seems like there's been a lot of that defensively for the Pierre Governors in the early going, just trying to get it out of harm's way, get themselves set up. But what it does is it continues to build up opportunity for the Arrows in their offensive zone.
Yeah, kicking the ball out is a last ditch effort type of thing. It shouldn't be your first idea. And the idea of putting the ball into play, keeping it in play, finding your outlets is right now the Governors need to find more outlets and find their teammates.
Some good footwork, too, for the Arrows. Just a really skilled team all around. Of course, they sit at 8-6-1 on the season. Maybe a couple uncharacteristic losses, but they played close in every game that they were in, including their losses. Pierre Governor girls just kind of understand and know how to take games over, know when they need to find a goal, where they can go to get it. Devin Van Rokel stepping across the freshly painted Pierre Governor logo, as we've got 4 out here at the Pilk, and they added a nice little black outline to it. See if Yankton can pull the upset and the Pierre Governors get the win here today. They will be playing here at home on Tuesday. Maybe they'll fill that ease in with green. Who knows? Maybe they'll just keep adding to them as the postseason rolls along. keep you updated on if Chris Derry can squeeze some scores out of his sources from around the state today. Quick shot from Flottmeyer, sails wide of the net. And she kind of did that all herself. Nice feed inside from Lexi Hilmer. Flottmeyer took it to the outer skirts of that semicircle, put a shot. Tried to kind of play the wind a little bit, put a side spinning kick on net. But it was just a bit wide from that far side post. Again, the Pierre Governors are attacking from right to left here this afternoon in the first half. Wind blowing from right to left, so it's at their back. The Arrows leading 1-0 here with 16:26 to play in our first half. Josephine Wirtz with a high foot goes up towards the head of Brooklyn Randall, and that's going to stop play. Dangerous play there from Josephine Wirtz, but was just trying to make a play on the ball. Brooklyn Randall just happened to get in the way. Drew his whistle.
Yeah. And smart play. I mean, why let them get the attack? Get your numbers behind the ball. Now, look, Pierre Governors have 11 girls behind the ball. They're better set up. They're ready for anything the Watertown Arrows bring now.
Long line drive kick from McKenna Blank, who handles most of the free kicks and corners for the Watertown Arrows, and you could understand why after that second corner kick of the day for Watertown ended up as the game's only goal. Natalie Flottmeyer turning on the Jets to get to this pass from Devin Van Rokel. She now steps back up, turns towards midfield, and it's Katie Fisher to boot it out of play. Like Chris said, that last-ditch effort defensively, just get it out of harm's way, let everybody reset. That's what the Arrows had to do there. And the throw-in will be coming from Allison Demers.
Yeah, I mean, people wonder, well, why do you call it a last-ditch effort? Well, because it inevitably just puts you back on defense right away. So, keeping possession is a much better idea.
And here come the Watertown Arrows again. McKenna Blank charging down the near sideline. Need out of play by Josephine Wirtz. Quick throw in, wanting to keep up the pace and not let the Governors get organized. Thrown into Katie Fisher. Josephine Wirtz will try to squeeze it through a couple Arrows. Beautiful touch from Maya Fravel to pop it over the head. The defender rolls right to me. And I think I had a pretty nice first touch on that one that came out of bounds here.
You did. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Maybe in 5 or 10 years, I can be close to as good as some of these Pierre Governors and Watertown Arrows. A lot of talent on the field, on the pitch here this afternoon. A lot of talent around the state. Some great games, some great matchups going on. Pierre Governor girls trying to make it a very positive weekend for Pierre Governor sports. As you know, the Governor boys football team dominated last night and their 40-plus point victory. Here's a opportunity out front by the Arrows. Emlyn Swanson coming out of net to stave off that effort. A little bit of contact out around the semicircle along the line, that 6 line, and now we've got a stoppage of play for an injured Arrow. This is the second injury they have sustained. Trying to see if we can get a number on this Arrow player that's down. To kind of explain what just happened, that ball was chipped in, heading towards Emlyn Swanson. Swanson making the right play on this and coming out of the net, sliding to get to it, as did the Arrow offensive player. And there was some contact with the cleats to the leg area, still waiting on a number.
And that was the right play. Emlyn had to come off of her line. She had to get big. She did. She got low. She did. She did everything correct. And unfortunately, for the Watertown Arrow striker there, she was doing everything correct too, going for the ball. So it's one of those things people talk about. There's no physicality in soccer. Well, just watch a game and you'll see all that you need to.
And to fill you in on the injured Watertown Arrow, that is Captain Senior Miley Canas. And she's going to hop on the back of the cart. And
good thing was, it looked like she hopped up on her own and got up there on her own. So hopefully it's just one of those things that's a stinger, and she's back in here shortly.
And to just kind of emphasize the love that Shannon Elverud has for her team, I've never seen a coach go full tilt sprint to 2 injured players like she has here in the first half. Just has a great relationship with her team, great relationship with her assistant coaches. They care for her. She cares for them. And we'll just hope that Canas can get back out on the pitch along with Sophia Gallardo-Popham, who went down earlier. 13:40 to play in the first half. 1-0 Watertown Arrows lead. The Goal came in the 13th minute on a corner kick from McKenna Blank. Chloe Landmark, some ease, was able to dart it into the back of the Governor's net. Big throw in is kicked out of play by Zoe Bowers, so they'll just move it up 10 yards, do it again. This one thrown in and sent back the direction of Josephine Wirtz. 2 substitutions coming for the Arrows. Berkeley Fliggy and Chloe Landmark back into the match. Checking out is Ariana Snyder and Claire Schockenheimer. Haven't seen much subbing for the Pierre Governors. We've seen a lot of fresh legs coming off the bench for the Arrows. Maybe Kira Swenson and her staff wanting to save some of those legs for the second half.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, Kira and Katie have a game plan. They're going to follow it. They've seen what they need to see on film. They know the girls, but obviously a different way of managing the team versus Watertown, who is subbing girls in and out frequently and without worry.
Natalie Flottmeyer is connected with and dropped down on the far side of the pitch on the negative side for the Pierre Governors. She's slow to get up. Contact came from Megan Clay. Katie Fisher checking on Flottmeyer to make sure she's all right. And now the official is saying that she needs to exit the match, much to the dismay of Flottmeyer, who says she's okay, but Felix has called for a clock stoppage and said she's going to need to check out and be seen by the medical staff. So the Avera medical team has been about as busy as they can get. And you always see Natalie Flottmeyer sporting a smile. And that was the first time we've seen her upset, and it's because she wanted to stay in the game.
Yeah, no, she got hit in the back pretty hard. Got a little, and I'm sure what Felix is doing, and that's what referees' job are. Is number one job of the referee is player safety, first and foremost, among everything else. And he's just being cautious. Hey, let's get you out there. You took a pretty hard hit, including a hit to the back of the neck and head area. Let's make sure that we're doing okay and get you back in there once the medical staff says you're fine.
Yeah, and a great job by Richard Felix, our center official today. Great work by all of our great officials here today. 11:53 remaining in the first half. Governors trailing by 1. Jasmine Yost lose control of that one as it goes out of bounds. Megan Clay with a quick throw in. Taken away by Zoe Bauer. Zoe Bauer, just a physical player and does so well in tight spots when she's either on defense or on offense, able to work away from defenders and has a keen ability to steal it off the foot of her opponent. And this one will be pushed back towards midfield. Josephine working against the smaller Brooklyn Randall, and a kick right into the stomach of Bo Mindinger as Wirtz was trying to get it here near side to Sophia Bruggeman. Allison Demers. This one pushed forward. Beautiful chip by Aubrey Fisher. Cut off by the defender. Devin Van Rokel out in front. Can't keep it. And it's kicked away on a beautiful play made defensively by McKenna Blank to keep it out of harm's way, at least for the moment. Settled down by Hilmer. Kira Swenson trying to push numbers up here. Beautiful little touch there from Lexi Hilmer, working around another defender. Chipped out of play by the Arrows, and a corner kick upcoming for the Pierre Governors, their first of the afternoon.
And right there, you saw the effect of the wind. The center back from Watertown cleared that ball. She has the wind at her back. That ball's past midfield. The wind's in her face. You can only make it 20 yards and benefit for Lexi. She took it out of the air, and that has created a corner kick because of it.
So Hilmer will take it from the near side corner. She'll go with the right foot. And with the wind blowing from right to left, maybe she'll try to curve it around and in. High, swirling kick will go off the head of Maya Fravel and out of play. So maybe that one riding the wind a little bit there.
Yeah, on those kicks there, and I know Lexi knows this too, you want to take that kick, put it up in the air, aim for about the PK mark, and let the wind push it back into the goal area, so that you can let the wind do its job, and you get the ball at some distance to get out there for it. So, that's her first corner kick. I would assume, knowing Lexi, she'll adjust to get the next one.
And we've talked a lot about the pros and cons with the wind being in the face versus at the back, but both of these teams have shown some inability to control the corner kicks here in the early going. So the wind affecting both directions pretty substantially. As Devin Van Rokel with a nice job defensively to just kind of spray it in the direction of Caitlin Taylor, who was all alone on the back line. Taylor will chip it back towards midfield. Aubrey Fisher trying to win the possession away from Maya York. York is heading back towards her goal. Lexi Hilmer will step in front of a loose ball. And now the Governors with some numbers over in front of the net as Hilmer towards the back line, chips it out in front. Free ball, deflected away. Another shot by Fisher is in, and we're tied. That ball was bouncing around loose out in front of the net for what seemed like an eternity until Aubrey Fisher was finally able to set it down. The shot prior looked like it might have even banged off the shin of Aubrey Fisher, keeping it out of the net. A little friendly fire, but Aubrey Fisher dusted it away, got the goal, and ties us up at 1 apiece with 8:52 to play in the first half.
And that right there is an exact reason why the wind is a benefit when you do that. The wind knocked that ball down right in front of the goal, and Enstad over there, all she could do was try to figure out where the ball was at and get in front of it. And it was a ping pong, and to quote old coach Alex Hernandez, old friend of mine, it was an inertia goal.
And, credit Lexi Hilmer, too, for staying with that run all the way down to the back line. Somehow was able to bend it around the defender to get it out in front of the net. And then it just rattled around like a pinball out in front of Madison Enstad. Credit Enstad, she did make a good save on the first try. Aubrey Fisher inadvertently made a save on the second try. But then the third time was the charm for the Pierre Governors, and Aubrey Fisher, who came off the bench and scores the first goal of the game for the Governors, ties us up and lights up the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. Now Flottmeyer with an opportunity, and a shot, and the goal! Natalie Flottmeyer darts it into the back of the net. It's her 11th goal of the regular season and the postseason combined, and just like that, playing from behind in the blink of an eye, the Governors step back out in front 2-1 on our Gales Gas Service scoreboard. 2 goals in the span of about 20 seconds, and an unbelievable shift in momentum for the home team here in the second round of the postseason.
And that's what we always talk about. First 5 minutes after a goal are deadly. You can, if you're dropping your head or if you're too happy. And right now the Governors are feeling motivated. And you can see Natalie Flottmeyer came back in with a mission after going out. And she's that ball right there had a little purpose behind it when she put it in the net.
Natalie Flottmeyer remaining so steady out in front of Madison Enstad, and nothing Enstad could have done about that. A perfectly placed shot from Natalie Flottmeyer to make it 2-1. And now the Arrows looking for an answer. What a kick. And that one might be in. It was pinned between the top crossbar and Emlyn Swanson's hand. And now they're going to stop play. Ooh. And talk about this one. That shot was supplied from way outside by Katie Fisher. She chipped it with the left foot high up into the pier sky. It kind of started bending towards the far post. Emlyn Swanson bouncing over to her right, stuck her right hand up to try to pin it in between the crossbar and the right hand. It looked like it ever so slightly rolled backwards over the goal line. But the question is, did it get all the way across?
Well, and the referee, unfortunately, was out of position. She wasn't down on the end line, so she's going to have an angled look at it. It's and we don't have replay at this age, so it's going to be a matter of recreating it in their own heads here and making sure they get it. If they don't feel 100%, they're not going to let it go. So we're going to see what they call here.
So here is the call from the official. It is going to be a goal kick. No goal for the Arrows, saying it did not break the plane completely. And you know what? That is, one, an unbelievable shot by Katie Fisher on the move off to her left to bend it up in the air and place it in that top left corner of the goal from our vantage point. But then Emlyn Swanson doing an outstanding job to kind of somehow squeeze it between her hand and the crossbar out of midair and keep it out of the net. And now this has had everything here in the first 33 minutes of this match. 2 goals for the Govs, 1 for the Arrows, and maybe one that could have been, maybe should have been. I think only Emlyn Swanson knows if that ball completely got through or not.
Well, and that right there, as the center referee, you're dependent on your AR to down all the way, down on the end, looking down the line to be able to see that clearly. Rachel, the AR on this side, was still up the line a little bit, trailing the play, so she couldn't get a good look at it. Not her fault. It wasn't expecting a floater like that to happen.
And in the meantime, a free kick coming for the Arrows about 10 yards outside the box. But what that may even do, sometimes teams find momentum out of that. Sometimes teams use that as a spark and light a fire. We'll see if the Arrows, who kind of had some misfortune there, may be able to use that to their advantage. Free kick coming here from McKenna Blank. She's been great all day, but this one just kind of gets a little bit of breeze under it, buffets it just a bit, and floats it over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, that can, I always, everyone who knows me knows I talk about the soccer gods. The soccer gods will tell you whether you deserve that goal or not by either A, giving it to you, or B, not giving you another bite at the apple. So we'll see here if they're owed a goal and can, like you said, use that as a little fire in their belly to get another opportunity.
Well, they say in basketball all the time, ball doesn't lie, and it applies here in soccer as this one is chipped by Meidinger out in front. One hop and saved by Swanson. Stepped up and played it on the Saturday hop here this afternoon. Throw in is stepped in front of by Schockenheimer. Schockenheimer down to the far side corner. Sends one out in front. Meidinger with a one-timer, and it's picked out of the air by Emlyn Swanson. Dangerous play. What a way to be for Bo Meidinger. Right place at the right time. Put herself in position, but Emlyn Swanson with the sticky gloves put him to work. And now a whistle as contact between Isabel Gorluck and Jasmine Yost will draw the whistle. But it's been fun to watch because Watertown seemingly been doing everything right. And the Governor's defense has been answering. It's just been good play all around. Maya Fravel feeding it inside for Lexi Hilmer. Hilmer into a swarm of white kids. Maya Fravel will come away with it. Turns it back. Jasmine Yost now with it to the far side corner, trying to center something through. This will roll past Enstad, out past the end line, and luckily for our broadcast crew, these four subbing Watertown Arrows will exit the sideline and free up our line of sight just a bit.
Yeah, and I will say after that no goal, their determination, the Arrows have definitely stepped up. They're pushing, trying to get that goal that they think they're owed right now. So this corner kick has a good chance, good opportunity for the Pierre Governors to kind of take some of the sting out of the ball a little bit and see what they can do with it.
2-1 Governor lead could very easily be tied at 2 apiece. We play on with 4:30 left in the first half. Corner kick coming from Natalie Flottmeyer. She sends it way too far over the top. And again, I hate to keep referring to it and using it as an excuse for either side, but the wind is seriously having some effects on some of these free and corner kicks.
Yeah, it is, and you've got to adjust to it. Understand when you're taking your kick how to use the wind to your benefit. And right now, the girls haven't done a good job of that yet, but they're getting the opportunities. All it takes is one.
Well, the other issue is Jasmine Yost is tripped up clearly by Fisher. This will likely draw a card, and it will. Katie Fisher is going to be issued a yellow card. Our first of the afternoon, and now 2 Arrows are going to have to exit the field of play. It's going to be Katie Fisher because of the card, but also Bo Meindinger's got a little bit of a leaky nose here, a little bit of blood coming out, so she's going to have to be checked on, have something taken care of. And checking in is going to be Miss Brooklyn Randall along with Chloe Landmark. And Lexi Hilmer will enter the match as well. Maybe not. Nope, she's just checking on the clock. She lets Kira Swenson know. Under 4 minutes to go. Jasmine Yost with the free kick from just inside the midfield circle. Waiting for the Felix whistle. And there it is. So Jasmine Yost with the wind at her back. Will send a low line drive, spiraling kick in off the chest of Enstad and into the back of the net off the rebound by Flottmeyer. Her second of the afternoon, and it's 3-1 Governors.
Yeah, and Enstad's going to want that back right into the breadbasket there, and just didn't catch it cleanly and right to the feet of Natalie, who Natalie did the exact perfect thing. Follow the shot, make sure if there's a rebound, you're there for it. She did, and now here we are, 3-1.
Well, that is what you want from your team in those situations. Put something, when you're that far out, just try to get something on goal. And with that wind, it certainly sped up that kick from Jasmine Yost from about 40 yards or so out. And Enstad had to try to catch a heat-seeking missile. She made the save, but it bounced off her chest right to a waiting and praying Natalie Flottmeyer. And she made her pay with her 11th and 12th goal of the season. It's 3-1 Governors on our Gales Gas Service scoreboard in Watertown in a bit of a predicament here. You feel fine maybe playing behind 2 and with a 2-1 deficit, but 3-1, that can really be tough. And now the Governors, with all kinds of momentum, have certainly stepped in and taken control of this game. And this is going to be a tough halftime break for the Watertown Arrows and Shannon Evelrud, who are going to have to try to piece things together, calm her team down after what they felt like should be a 2-tool, now a 3-2 game, and try to get them refocused for a big second half upcoming and try to get out of these final 3 minutes still just trailing 3-1. That'll go off the arm of Zoe Bauer.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to win the second half. So all these problems that Madison Edstad has had over there for Watertown, Emmeline's going to face the same thing this second half. So it is a 2-goal lead. It's in soccer, we call that the most dangerous lead in soccer for reasons, because you're still within striking distance, and a lot of teams have a tendency of dropping their level of play a little bit, causing that 2-goal lead to become 1 really fast.
Yeah, I think Evelrud will find out a lot about her team in this second half. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the first. 3-1 Governors out in front. Goals from Natalie Flottmeyer, who has 2. The first of the day came from Aubrey Fisher. The lone goal for the Arrows from Chloe Landmark on the corner kick from McKenna Blank. Governors back line and a piece 1, 2, 3, 4 passes together. This one rifled forward by Caitlin Taylor, stopped in its tracks by Berkeley Fliggy. And now Devin Van Rokel will cut through a couple defenders, traversing, rolling it towards midfield. Nice pass ahead to Zoe Bauer. Zoe Bauer being worked on by Schockenheimer. Jasmine Yost with a trip up of Schockenheimer, inadvertent. But a free kick coming here for the Arrows, and with 90 seconds to play, this would certainly be a momentous goal for them if they could cut this deficit to 1 before the halftime break. And a reminder to stick around for our Wealth Partners America. I think that goal from Natalie Flottmeyer, as this one's chipped in right to Emmeline Swanson. She'll dive over to her right. Some contact was Chloe Landmark to try to disrupt the save attempt from Emmeline Swanson. And now we're under 60 seconds to play. But I think that goal there from Natalie Flottmeyer to make it 3-1 is a perfect candidate for our Rounds Financial Services. Right on the money highlight. Natalie Flottmeyer was right where she needed to be. She got the rebound and put the shot right on the money, and that was the Rounds Financial Services right on the money highlight, where your money works for you. OSAIC Wealth member SIPC. Chipped in, 33 seconds to play. Governors look like they are going to take a 2-goal lead into our Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial halftime break. This one is kicked out of play. And maybe one final last attempt effort to continue padding on some insurance. Lexi Hilmer with a quick throw in towards the end line for Devin Van Rokel, trying to get a free corner kick out of it, and they do. Hilmer's going to have to hurry. 5 seconds to go. Quick kick coming. Can she bend one in? Enstad sliding save in the wickets. If she wasn't there, it would be 4-1. And Madison Enstad puts an exclamation point save on the end of a big half for her opponent, the Pierre Governors, who lead 3-1 on our Gales Gas Service scoreboard at the end of 40. 40 more to come. We'll recap all of it in our Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial Halftime Show. I'll talk some strategy with my buddy Chris Derry, then we'll see if the Governors can advance to the 3rd round. You're listening to Pierre Governor High School playoff soccer coverage live on River 92.7 and streaming live on drgnews.com.
Since 1894, Ameriprise Financial has worked for their clients' futures, helping millions of Americans retire on their terms. I'm Rick Doctor, a financial advisor with Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisory.
Most people don't think about their furnace until it's not working, but we do. At Pipe Service Experts, we are trained to see what others miss. Airflow restrictions, pressure imbalances, heat exchanger flaws. That's how we catch little issues before they become cold nights and costly repairs. Because keeping your home warm takes more than just a toolbox. Our certified technicians will get your system running at peak condition. Call Pipe Service Experts for our special $99 precision tune-up today. Call 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle by and touchdown. Here's Olsen, plenty of time, 3 seconds, gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pierre Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
5 minutes when the Governors kind of set the stage early. The Arrows got their first goal, their only goal of the first half, from Chloe Landmark. It was set up by a McKenna Blank corner kick. And the Governors seemingly playing from behind. They've done that all season long, not panicking, getting the first goal of the game from the first half for Aubrey Fisher. She would make it 1-1. Natalie Flotmeyer with 2 more goals to add to her total, making it 12 on the season. Made it 2-1, then 3-1. That was that second goal came from Jasmine Yost on a free kick from midfield that bounced off the chest of Madison Enstad. Right out in front of the net. Natalie Flotmeyer was right there, right in the right spot at the right time and right on the money. And that was our Rounds Financial Services right on the money highlight.